What do you do when you're currently living one dream that you've had and that you still have, but you're also waiting for the other dream that you have to come to pass? What do you do in the tension of, I'm grateful for this, but I'm also wanting and expecting that, and I've been waiting and I'm praying and I'm doing the right steps, and I may not do it perfectly. Sometimes I, make more of an effort some months than others, and seasons change. What do you do when you're in the middle of that? Because I have a dream of writing a book, writing many books, and it has been the slowest process. And I took a leap of faith and I reached out last week, and I was so excited when I did this because I felt faith rise up in me to do it. I reached out to one of my favorite authors and I asked if they did scholarships or any kind of financial assistance for their writer workshop program in California. And it would be so easy to go if I lived in California still, but I don't. And so now I need airfare, and then just to be there for a weekend is almost $3,000 for lodging and everything. And this author is just known to do adventurous and wild, crazy things. I really love this author. And I thought, I was reading his book and I was like, I'm going to email them and ask them if they offer this. Just tell them I'm a stay-at-home mom. We're one income family. Do you do any kind of scholarships? And I sent it and I was so excited. And then today, my youngest was complaining of a stomach ache, and then was doing some tracing work at the dining room table, and I just hear my oldest say, "Mom, she threw up." And I go, and there's throw up all over the table and all over the dining room floor. So, I do what moms do. We reassure the sad child who just does not like getting messy and being full of throw up and just the feeling of throwing up. I comfort her, and then I, do take care of her, and then I go back to okay, I gotta clean it up now that she's okay. Right before I go to clean it up, I get my gloves on, I get all the stuff, an email pops in from the person who I reached out to, and one of his assistants responds to me saying, "We do not offer scholarships." And I'm holding in my hands my gloves. I have my gloves on and a rag, and I'm looking at this email saying that they do not offer it. They have an online course that I can take, which I've already taken, and I'm just I thought for sure they would offer something. I just had the faith for it, and I'm looking at this email wow, they're not going to offer anything. So now is not the time for me to do it. And it was one of my prayers in January that I would be able to go to this thing in November. So I was I have 10 months to save up for this thing and to go. And we had 3 months of job loss. My husband was out of work for 3 weeks. My husband was out of work for 3 weeks unexpectedly. And I mean, you're living off of your savings account for 3 months. It's a lot of money. So there is no extra spending to go on this writer's retreat for a weekend in California. It's just not in the budget, right? And so I thought, well, maybe there's another way. And I reached out, and then it's a no. And I see that email, and then I'm going over to clean up throw up. And I'm this is not how the story is supposed to go. I'm going to be a writer who has a book published. This is going to happen. And the old me would get so mad that I shouldn't be doing this. I could do more than this. I shouldn't just be a stay-at-home mom. That was the old me 5 years ago. But now I realize that I am more than happy to clean up my daughter's throw up because I'm her mother and I love her. And I will take care of her forever. And I can want to be a stay-at-home mom and be a good mother and love it and do it well with all my heart unto the Lord. And I can also be a writer too. And so it's not one or the other. And I refuse to believe that just because there's no scholarships available, that I will not eventually write. And it's in these moments where there's choices that are made and agreements that I have to resist and we have to resist against when we do not see things going in the way that we think they should go. And so I had to take a deep breath. I had to stop and pray. And I had to just give it to the Lord, knowing that the other dream that He has given me, I know for certain matters as much as the dream that I'm currently living out on being a stay-at-home mom. So they can both exist. It may not look perfect. It looks messy, literally messy. I was scrubbing that throw up out of one of those rug carpets that you like roll out and you put like on a floor surface, which those are the hardest to clean because they are just weird. I was scrubbing that thing and it is literally messy, but it's not the end of the story. It is not a permission and an excuse to give up on everything else. Well, I guess I'm never. No, it's just not today, but it will happen. It will happen for me. It will happen for you. God has given you a God-sized dream, and He will be faithful to make it come to pass through you in the right time and season.